What's going on, guys? It's Chris. Happy hump day. It's almost 10 o'clock here in the warehouse, and I am trying to put a plan in motion to control one of our biggest bottlenecks, which is shipping tops. Shipping tops just absolutely sucks. We inspect every single top that we ship out, so we can be sure that there's no imperfections or anything like that. That's why we don't actually get the tops packaged for us, which that is going to change because it takes an insane amount of time to package them. So what we got here is a whole bunch of packing material that is going to go out the door tomorrow to a local Holland company that is going to pack pretty much almost 1,000 tops we have here. This is just enough to get started. I mean, this is here's the exterior box. We use UChannels to cover the side. There's tape, pads to cover, and then plastic corners. All of that is utilized, just to keep our stuff safe. And it costs, it costs a lot, but it takes a lot of time. And that time is money. And paying for somebody to just box it all is going to cost a lot too. I mean, I think it's going to cost almost $20,000 for them to box all of it. And I think it's going to be great though, because instead of having all of this just tops that need to be boxed, they'll just be boxed and ready to go. So when we get an order, it's good to go. So let me just walk you guys through, because it really is not an efficient process, and for the amount of business I guess we do, it's kind of really crazy that we are doing it just like this. So an order comes in, and right now I know we have a customer that he needs a 30 by 72 white top, bright white top. The laminate's from Formica. So what we typically do, and they're not light. A 30 by 72 is about 85 pounds. It's not light at all. So we'll bring it over to this table, and this is when we'll do the last final cleaning. So what we use is a denatured alcohol to basically do the final cleaning step. Here you go. And it's got a pretty, what do they call, high flash point. That's a little way too much, but it's not gonna hurt the top. So it flashes off once you wipe it. This gets off any extra glue, especially from the edge banding, any marks, and then this is kind of what allows us to do that final check and hey, this top is good to go, or hey, this top gets thrown in our seconds pile, and we typically do sales. And so this is really, really labor intensive. And, if you can imagine, if we got 20 of these tops a day, I mean, it can take a couple hours, and it eats up a lot of time that we're not marketing. We're not able to talk to our customers. We're not able to, do custom orders, things like that, because it really does take a lot of time. So, all right. So far, this top looks pretty dang flawless, except, let me show you guys. There is a mark right there, and I think that's just glue. Okay, or not glue, yeah. So it is coming off. So that's good, because if that didn't come off, that would be a rejected top. We would not send that out, and then it would go into our seconds pile. All right, so knowing that this top is good to go, next step would be to put on our UChannels. And we'll kind of walk you through the cost of everything. We're going to need one more. So each one of these UChannels that go on the corner is about $1 each. And each top takes about 3 of them. So these are just hard UChannel angle board. It's kind of not necessary. There's a lot of things we do that's not necessary to get the product safe, but it's one of those things that we feel is an added benefit, especially when you see how it's wrapped up. Like the biggest issue that like no company has been able to solve is puncture to the top side, and then when say the FedEx driver like sets it on its side on like a curb. So this, we feel like it kind of helps. And when you think about like a 30 by 72, people think like we make a ton of money on this stuff, but we don't. A 3072 shipped to Washington is like almost $180 now. So almost half the cost of the top is shipping alone. And that's not just us. That's why you see bigger companies than us, their tops cost more. Oh, did not mean to do that. So we also put a cardboard pad on top, and this right here, this like reddish side is different than the normal cardboard side, and that's because it's got a no-mark coating, and it's basically just a coating that's not abrasive. So cardboard by itself is abrasive. Rub it enough along something, and it's kind of going to be like sandpaper. And then this right here is, I think, the only thing in our top packaging that is non-recyclable, but hopefully you guys have a use case for it, and you can maybe use it for something else besides, or just reuse it once before you throw it out. But we really feel like we do need to have some kind of additional padding besides just the pad. All right, so then the pad goes like this. And then now we need our corner protectors, which I'm going to step out of frame so I can grab them. They're over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And these are like the bee's knees right now in the industry. Like everyone is using them. They're basically these injected molded corners, but the inside has a little hollow area where the actual corner hits. So when the corner gets smashed, it's not actually smashing into the corner, but it's smashing into the air pocket. And these are expensive. These, when we started buying them, I think they were around 33 cents a piece. And now they're closer to 75 cents a piece. And, not that like each one, like you can't just buy one of these. Like when I bought them, I bought, I think 30,000 of them. And honestly, I'm very thankful I did it when I did, because the manufacturer hits me up about once a month saying, Chris, do you have any extra corner ones? Because companies bigger than us are going through them so quickly, and supply is hard. And they're backed up. All right, so corner protection is on, and then the final thing we do, we actually used to band the box once it's like the final box is on it. We used to band over it, but FedEx was charging us like $8 per box. So then we started banding the inside, and of course I don't have the bander over here. I didn't really think this through. It's 10 o'clock. Just doing a little old school, showing you what we do. All right. So we need this guy, and this guy we basically use for everything. Oh. All right. We literally just got trash cans like a month or two ago. We used to not have it, and in our early days, we couldn't afford banding, so Hayworth and Herman Miller, like, they would pay other companies to recycle for them. So we would go get the leftover banding. So if they like had a pallet shipped to them, I wish I had a better idea, but like this is banded right here, but this is a metal band, so you could reuse this, but we would go take their trash bags of their banding and then reuse it. And like if it had the part where it was like glued together, we would just cut it. So just do it tight enough to just where it holds it in. Push the button. It takes about 3 seconds. Hopefully that wasn't too loud on you guys. If so, I apologize. But because we do all of these steps, we seldom have damage issues. And of course, probably knock on wood, as I say this, we're probably going to have an issue come up, but very seldom do we have issues. And hopefully also like FedEx and UPS are getting better at handling these items because everyone's working from home. I like reading the articles that companies are, forcing their employees back to work, and it's just backfiring. I mean, it's only better for us, but we are expanding into corporate jobs, which has been a good chunk of our business this year. And also the perk with corporate jobs, like if they order, like there's 20 tops right here. If they ordered 20, we literally just pull that whole thing, put additional like cardboard around it, and then we ship it. Like there's none of this, which is way better. And we only invoice one person where all right. Then one thing we do on all of our tops is we always just write a thank you. I mean, literally without you guys, we would be nothing. So we take the time and make sure everything's perfect because, like I said, without you guys, we would be nothing. All right, so then the last step, let's make sure I have everything, is going to be putting the top on. And man, you guys are going to have to stare at my butt for a second. But what we do is we take the top box. We haven't found a better way of doing this, but we put it on the high-low just like this. I'm then going to grab the top. Oh, guess we got a ghost in the building. It is 10 o'clock now. All right, sorry for those headphone users. And then we need to grab some tape, and we need to grab a knife, which I haven't figured out a way to launch this, but I've got 100 of these. For anybody that buys an Apex Pro with a laminate top, we will throw in the Benchmade mini bug out, and it's got our logo on it. It's pretty cool. We did these for our 2-year anniversary, and it's like a perfect little knife. It's crazy sharp. I don't know if I need to say it's only for people 18 or older, because I don't know. We're not really selling it. We're giving it away. I don't know the liability of that. Please don't do anything bad with these. But so if you buy an Apex Pro with a laminate top, just put in the notes, include a Benchmade mini bug out, and we've got 100 of them. So go have at it. Thank you guys. All right. So the last step is we put the top side down because this is the bottom side, duh. And what we don't want happening is when this tape, when you get it, you're so anxious to get it, you kind of just throw a knife in there or scissors and you cut it and then you scratch the top side. It's really no big deal if you scratch the bottom side. This is going to be super awkward because this is such a big top. Kind of go like that, shin up. Ah. Easy. All right. Make sure it lines all up. And like this stuff, guys, this 3M or Scotch tape, whatever. Yep. Scotch tape, this stuff isn't cheap either. I think a box of this is like $180. And we go through it pretty quickly because we use a ton of it. We just don't want things to break up during shipping. All right. Man. All right, I'm gonna use that knife. Then I put 3 strips. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Headphone users. All right, so that's pretty much our top. I'm gonna flip this over, and then I'm gonna tape this side afterwards because that's really loud, and you guys all probably hate me, but it's upside down. But that's what we do to get our top. Guys, it takes obviously a ton of work. It would be way easier if all this stuff right here was already boxed. You send in a label, or send in an order, we print it, and then, you know, we just slap it on here. But, I mean, in the beginning, when you think about it, like I said, we had to buy 30,000 of those things to get the price we wanted. The plates. So when you buy like custom boxes, this cutout pattern you have to buy a plate for. And I think they were, I don't know for sure, but I know we at least spent 10 grand on just the cutting plates. So you have that, and then you have to buy enough boxes. So if you buy like 100 boxes, it's like, say, $1,000, or it's like $8,000. If you buy 1,000, it's also $8,000 because the company charges you the time it's like running the machines. So we had to buy a ton of boxes. That's why, you know, over there we have boxes. Over here we have boxes. Things are stuffed to the ceiling. Those are all the plastic corners and all that stuff. We just have, it's a lot of money. So like when you're starting, it's like, oh, I just had to drop 10 grand on plates. Oh, I just had to drop another 20 grand on boxes. And then on top of that, it's another $20,000 if we want these tops to be boxed, which on top of that is almost, you know, $150,000 our cost on all these on all these tops. And then we got to ship them here. We got to store them. We got to pay for storage. So, you know, when you're kind of bootstrapping this stuff in the beginning, that was just a decision we made not to have them boxed also, because it allowed us to kind of do the final check. Because believe it or not, there are a lot on this other side. There's probably 30, 40 tops that are seconds tops because they just don't meet our quality standard of what we want. I mean, we know, unfortunately, we know like the user, especially like the home user, you know, they're more particular about their product where, you know, when we ship it to an office, if it's got like a minor imperfection, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to get marked up anyways. And, you know, it's not the person's actual personal desk, so they don't care as much. But I'm rambling because it is late. So, as you guys see now, this is kind of how we do our tops. Hopefully we're trying to change it, or we are going to change it so we can be more efficient and put out some more product. But go buy an Apex Pro. Get a laminate top with it, 3072 or 29 by 60 or 29 by 58. And we will include this Benchmade mini bug out. See you guys.